Have you ever felt a sudden weakness in your arm or experienced a moment of confusion and wondered what it could mean? Imagine if that fleeting sensation was more than just a minor glitch. It could be your body's urgent warning of a mini-stroke or TIA. Every year, around 240,000 Americans face this silent threat, often brushing it off without realizing the potential danger. But what if recognizing these warning signs early could save your life or the life of someone you love? In this video, we'll dive deep into the 8 critical warning signs of a mini-stroke, explore the risk factors that put the elderly at higher risk, and share essential prevention strategies that could make all the difference. Stay with us until the end to learn how simple actions and awareness can help you take control of your health, prevent a major stroke, and ensure a healthier, longer life for you and your loved ones. Don't miss out on this life-saving information. Your well-being depends on it. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. A mini-stroke, medically known as a transient ischemic attack, TIA, is a temporary and often alarming disruption in the brain's blood flow, one that serves as a vivid, life-altering warning sign. Imagine it as a fleeting moment of danger, a temporary blockage in a blood vessel that cuts off the precious oxygen supply to the brain. The effects are brief, usually lasting only minutes to hours, and fortunately, they often resolve with no permanent damage. However, this doesn't make a TIA any less significant. Unlike a full-blown stroke, which can devastate your life by causing irreversible brain damage, long-term disabilities, or even death, a TIA is like an urgent alarm bell ringing in your body, alerting you to the very real threat of a larger, more catastrophic stroke that could be lurking just around the corner. It's crucial to understand this distinction. While a full stroke can tear apart your life and leave you grappling with lasting neurological damage, a TIA, though brief and often fleeting, doesn't cause permanent harm at that moment. But don't be fooled. This transient disruption is not a moment to shrug off. Studies reveal that TIAs are alarmingly common among older adults, particularly those over the age of 65, with approximately 15% of this population experiencing one at some point in their lives. This means that a significant portion of our elderly population is living with a heightened risk, and recognizing these episodes for what they are, a stark warning of a potential stroke, can be the difference between life and death. The importance of recognizing a mini-stroke cannot be overstated. A TIA is a powerful precursor to something far worse. Research shows that roughly 1 in 3 people who suffer a TIA will eventually experience a full stroke, and nearly half of these devastating strokes strike within the first 48 hours following a TIA. This shocking statistic drives home the urgent need to act swiftly. Dismissing the symptoms of a TIA, even if they seem to fade quickly, is like ignoring a siren warning you of an approaching storm. The consequences of inaction are grave. A major stroke can rob you of your independence, leaving you with life-altering disabilities such as paralysis, speech loss, or even worse. And yet, the power lies in recognizing the danger early. By seeking medical help at the first sign of a TIA, you are giving yourself the best possible chance to prevent the devastation of a stroke. With timely intervention, doctors can offer life-saving treatments, including medication, lifestyle modifications, or even surgical procedures, to drastically reduce the risk of a major stroke. Acting quickly could be the difference between regaining control of your life or facing a future full of pain, loss, and uncertainty. So, while a TIA may seem like a brief, inconsequential episode, it holds the power to change the course of your future. Recognizing the signs and acting fast is not just important. It is a crucial, life-saving step in preserving your well-being and quality of life for years to come. The 8 warning signs of many strokes in the elderly. Number 1. Sudden weakness or numbness. The first subtle warning of a mini-stroke or transient ischemic attack, TIA, often comes in the form of sudden, unexplained weakness or numbness, typically on one side of the body. It can strike with little to no warning, affecting the face, arm, or leg, and though it may appear fleeting or insignificant at first, it is one of the clearest, most common signs that something is amiss deep within your body. You might suddenly feel as though your mouth is drooping, your arm is too heavy to lift, or a strange tingling sensation in your leg as if your body is no longer obeying your commands. These symptoms may come and go, typically lasting just a few minutes to an hour, but even if they resolve quickly, they should never, ever be brushed off or ignored. So, what is happening behind the scenes to cause this alarming sensation? It all boils down to the precious, life-sustaining force of blood flow. A mini-stroke happens when a blood vessel temporarily becomes blocked or narrowed, robbing a part of your brain of the oxygen it needs to function properly. This brief, almost cruel disruption in blood flow can affect the brain's ability to control motor functions or sensations on one side of the body. When this happens, the result is sudden, unexpected weakness or numbness that shakes you to your core. It may be a terrifying moment of uncertainty, but the silver lining is that this experience is usually temporary, as blood flow is restored before lasting damage can take hold. However, don't let the transient nature of these symptoms lull you into complacency. A mini-stroke is a red flag, a wake-up call from your brain, desperately trying to tell you that something much more dangerous could be lurking in the shadows. This is not just a minor inconvenience. It is a signal that a larger, more devastating stroke might be on the horizon. The truth is, recognizing these warning signs early and acting swiftly could be the difference between preserving your health and facing long-term, life-altering consequences. Ignoring it could carry risks that extend far beyond the momentary discomfort. Your brain, in all its wisdom, is crying out for help, and your swift response might just be the key to protecting your future. Number 2. Temporary vision changes. One of the most alarming and often overlooked warning signs of a mini-stroke in the elderly is a sudden and dramatic shift in vision. Imagine, without warning, your world turning blurry, or the once clear shapes around you splitting into double, making even the simplest of tasks seem impossible. In some cases, temporary blindness may descend on one or even both eyes, leaving you disoriented and frightened. These episodes, though fleeting, should never be dismissed lightly. They are your body's urgent, though often subtle, cry for attention, signaling that the delicate blood flow to your brain, or the areas responsible for your sight, is being disrupted. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. This sudden vision change is often tied to a condition called amaurosis fugax, a temporary but terrifying loss of vision in one eye. This visual disturbance, caused by a temporary lack of blood flow to the retina, is a stark warning sign that a major stroke may be on the horizon. People who experience it often describe it in distressing terms, as if a dark curtain or shadow has descended over their field of vision, blocking out everything in its path. It may only last a few moments or a few minutes, but during those moments, the sense of helplessness and fear can be overwhelming. The briefness of this episode doesn't lessen its importance. Instead, it should be seen as a glaring sign that something is deeply wrong, potentially threatening the very essence of your ability to see and live. These vision changes are not random or harmless lapses. They occur because the brain and eyes, both dependent on a steady flow of oxygen and nutrients, are being deprived. When blood circulation falters, the results can be disastrous. If you or someone you love experiences these sudden visual changes, it's critical not to brush them off as mere fatigue or strain. Such symptoms are not to be taken lightly. They are your body's desperate plea for help. Every second counts. Seeking immediate medical attention can make all the difference, potentially preventing a stroke that could leave irreversible damage or even claim a life. Don't wait for the storm to hit. Respond to the warning before it's too late. Number 3. Difficulty speaking or slurred speech. The sudden onset of difficulty speaking or slurred speech is an alarming and often unexpected warning sign of a mini-stroke or TIA, and it can leave you feeling profoundly unsettled. Imagine being in the middle of a conversation, struggling to form words that once came so easily. You may find yourself searching for the right phrase, but it slips through your mind like water through your fingers, leaving you unable to express even the simplest thoughts. Alternatively, the words you speak may come out jumbled, slurred, or disjointed, as though your tongue refuses to cooperate. In some cases, even understanding what others are saying can become an immense challenge, as though your brain is disconnected from the flow of language. This disturbing experience is often tied to a condition known as aphasia, a temporary but deeply unsettling loss of the ability to process or express language. It occurs when blood flow to the brain's language centers is reduced or interrupted, as happens during a mini-stroke. For even just a few minutes, these vital areas of the brain can be disrupted, leaving you struggling to communicate. The words that were once at your command now feel elusive, slipping away into a fog of confusion. Those around you may notice the slurred, garbled speech, or they may see your frustration as you fail to follow the conversation. Though these symptoms may seem fleeting, they should never be brushed off as mere stress, exhaustion, or forgetfulness. TIAs are often a precursor to a full-blown stroke, and the damage caused by a larger stroke can be devastating, permanently impairing your ability to speak or understand language. Time is of the essence when it comes to responding to such signs. Don't hesitate to seek immediate medical attention. The sooner you act, the greater your chance of preventing further damage. Early intervention can make all the difference between recovery and the possibility of irreversible consequences. So never ignore the warning signs of a mini-stroke. Your voice, your ability to communicate, and your very independence may depend on it. Number 4. Sudden confusion. Sudden confusion can be a terrifying and deceptive warning sign of a mini-stroke, often mistaken for something seemingly harmless, like fatigue, stress, or even the early, unsettling whispers of dementia. Yet, this fleeting moment of disorientation can be far more alarming than we may first realize. It might start with a subtle, yet overwhelming, difficulty in concentrating, leaving you feeling mentally adrift as if the very foundation of your thoughts is crumbling. You may struggle to recall even the simplest of details, where you are, what you're doing, or the conversation you've just had. This confusion isn't just an inconvenience. It's a powerful, undeniable cry from your body that something is wrong. In these moments, it may feel as if your mind is wrapped in a thick fog, rendering you incapable of processing even basic information. Time may stretch and distort, and you might find yourself caught in a perplexing haze, unsure of where you are or how you got there. This is the result of a mini-stroke, or transient ischemic attack, TIA, which momentarily disrupts the blood flow to the critical regions of the brain responsible for memory, cognition, and problem-solving. While the symptoms often pass in mere minutes or an hour, their intensity leaves an indelible mark on your awareness. They are not just minor inconveniences. They are a glaring red flag that demands attention. Sadly, for many elderly individuals, this moment of confusion is often dismissed as a simple byproduct of aging or a fleeting memory lapse, causing a dangerous delay in seeking the urgent medical help that's desperately needed. This is where the crucial difference lies. While dementia often creeps in slowly, subtly eroding the mind over time, the confusion caused by a TIA strikes abruptly, out of nowhere, and dissipates just as quickly. It is not a sign of gradual decline. It is a sudden and temporary disruption, a signal that your brain is being deprived of the blood it needs to function. And when we ignore this, we take the terrifying risk of allowing a full-blown stroke to take hold, an event that could forever alter the way you think, remember, and experience life. If you or someone you love experiences sudden confusion, do not dismiss it or second-guess it. This is a call to action, an urgent message that should never be ignored. Seek medical help immediately to protect brain health, safeguard against irreversible damage, and prevent the devastating consequences of an untreated stroke. Your brain is precious. Listen to it, and respond with the care it so urgently deserves. Number 5. Dizziness or loss of balance. Dizziness or a sudden loss of balance can be one of the most alarming and frightening signs of a mini-stroke or TIA, transient ischemic attack. It may strike unexpectedly, leaving you feeling as though the very ground beneath your feet is shifting, or as if the world itself is spinning in a disorienting blur. This sensation, often accompanied by lightheadedness or an overwhelming sense of unsteadiness, can strike at the most inopportune moments, sometimes even leading to a sudden, jarring fall. For many older adults, the experience can be terrifying, yet it's also easily misinterpreted as something benign, like dehydration, a drop in blood sugar, or even a common inner ear condition such as vertigo. However, the source of dizziness caused by a TIA is starkly different from these more common causes. While inner ear issues may throw off your balance by interfering with the signals between your ear and brain, the dizziness that arises from a mini-stroke stems from a much more serious and urgent issue: blood flow. In a TIA, the blood supply to critical areas of the brain, those responsible for maintaining coordination, balance, and equilibrium, becomes temporarily compromised. This disruption can leave you feeling suddenly unmoored, as if the world is slipping away from you dangerously and unpredictably. What sets TIA-related dizziness apart from more ordinary causes is its sudden onset, often arriving without warning. It can strike without any apparent reason and may be accompanied by other distressing signs, such as numbness, blurred vision, or difficulty speaking. While these episodes might be fleeting, lasting only a few moments, they should never be dismissed as harmless. They serve as urgent, unmistakable signals that your brain is not receiving enough oxygen, putting you at significant risk of a more severe stroke shortly. If you or someone you love experiences a sudden bout of dizziness or balance problems, don't hesitate. Seek medical help immediately. Time is critical. Recognizing these symptoms for what they are, and acting swiftly, could make all the difference in preventing a debilitating stroke and saving a life. The stakes are high, and the sooner you act, the greater the chance of averting a catastrophic event. Number 6. Severe headaches. Severe headaches, though not the most prevalent symptom of a mini-stroke or TIA, should never be underestimated. When they do occur, they often strike with a force and intensity, unlike any headache you've ever experienced. These headaches are not like the ordinary tension headaches or the familiar throbbing of a migraine. No, this is a sharp, sudden onset of pain that seems to come out of nowhere, leaving you feeling completely overwhelmed and powerless in the face of it. People who experience this type of headache often describe it as feeling piercing, intense, and utterly unrelenting, as if something inside your head is trying to explode. It's a pain that feels different, unnervingly so, and should never be dismissed casually. But why does this happen during a TIA or mini-stroke? The cause lies within the sudden and temporary blockage of blood flow in the brain. When a blood vessel becomes blocked, even for just a brief moment, the pressure within the vessel rises dramatically, leading to disturbances in the brain's delicate system of circulation. This sudden change can trigger a cascade of physical responses, including the kind of sharp, jarring headache that can feel unlike any other. It's as if your body is sounding an urgent alarm, desperately trying to convey that something is amiss and requires immediate attention. While TIAs typically do not leave behind long-term damage, the strain placed on the brain's vascular system during these events can certainly lead to severe, unexplained headaches. This headache is the body's painful way of telling you that the usual flow of life within your brain has been disturbed. It's important to note that these headaches often come with additional symptoms that should not be ignored under any circumstances. Along with a headache, you may experience dizziness that makes you feel like the world is spinning around you, blurry or lost vision that leaves you unable to focus, slurred speech that makes it hard for you to communicate, or numbness in parts of your body that makes it difficult to move normally. These signs are not just vague discomforts. They are red flags, flashing warnings that something far more serious could be happening within your brain. For elderly individuals, the sudden onset of severe headaches accompanied by any of these neurological symptoms should not be brushed aside or written off as a minor inconvenience. These types of headaches could signal a TIA, a transient ischemic attack, or even a larger, more catastrophic stroke that is quietly beginning to unfold in your brain. The pain is a signal, but the other symptoms are the vital signs of a medical emergency that demands urgent action. Time, in these moments, becomes your greatest ally or your greatest enemy. The longer you wait to seek help, the more devastating the consequences can be. A delay in seeking medical care could mean the difference between life and death, between recovering without lasting harm and suffering a life-altering disability. Immediate intervention is not just a recommendation, it is a necessity. If these symptoms arise, especially in someone elderly or vulnerable, don't wait. Call for help immediately. The quicker you respond to the body's urgent distress signals, the more likely it is that you can prevent permanent damage or irreversible consequences. Never forget that these sudden, intense headaches are more than just a headache. They are a critical signal from your body that something is wrong. A moment's hesitation could cost you everything. Take the warning seriously, because your life could very well depend on it. Number 7. Brief loss of consciousness. A sudden, brief loss of consciousness, whether it's a fleeting moment of fainting, a sudden wave of dizziness, or an overwhelming drowsiness that seems to come out of nowhere, can be an incredibly unsettling experience. Though it may seem like a minor inconvenience or the result of simple exhaustion, these moments should never be brushed aside as inconsequential. Such episodes can be an early, often silent warning sign of something far more alarming and potentially life-threatening: a transient ischemic attack, TIA, or what is commonly referred to as a mini-stroke. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The brain, our most vital organ, is uniquely reliant on a continuous and uninterrupted supply of oxygen-rich blood to function properly. This flow of blood carries not only oxygen but the essential nutrients that the brain needs to perform even the most basic tasks, from regulating the heartbeat to enabling thought and movement. When this blood flow is interrupted, even for a brief period, the consequences can be immediate and severe. The effects may manifest as lightheadedness, dizziness, fainting, or an overwhelming, almost inexplicable fatigue that leads to complete unconsciousness. What's truly concerning about these episodes is that they often occur with little to no warning, and the symptoms, though temporary, are a sign that the brain is not receiving the nourishment and support it desperately needs. In the case of a TIA, a temporary blockage or narrowing of a blood vessel in the brain can disrupt circulation. This interruption is brief but intense enough to cause noticeable symptoms. The area of the brain affected by the blockage determines the specific symptoms, which may include dizziness, fainting, difficulty focusing, or a heavy, drowsy feeling that's difficult to shake off. While these symptoms tend to resolve quickly and often disappear within minutes or hours, it's crucial to understand that they are far from harmless. They serve as a red flag, a clear warning sign that your brain is not receiving the vital blood supply it requires to function at its best. A TIA is, in essence, a mini-stroke, a temporary disruption in blood flow that often occurs just before a larger, more devastating stroke. What makes these episodes even more dangerous is how easily they can be dismissed. Many individuals, especially older adults, tend to shrug off these symptoms as nothing more than the result of stress, dehydration, low blood sugar, or simple fatigue. It's all too common for people to believe that this sudden tiredness or fainting is just part of getting older, or that it's something that will pass with rest. However, ignoring these seemingly benign occurrences can have disastrous consequences. Brushing off such warnings may put you at a greater risk of suffering a major, potentially debilitating stroke shortly. The reality is that strokes don't always strike without warning. Often, they come after smaller, less noticeable signs, such as a TIA. When these early warning signs are ignored, the window for effective intervention narrows, and the consequences of a stroke become more severe, often leading to permanent brain damage, loss of function, and, in the worst cases, death. This is why it is crucial to listen to your body, to recognize the significance of these episodes, and to take immediate action if they occur. If you or someone you love experiences any of these signs, whether it's a sudden, unexplained fainting episode, an unexpected wave of drowsiness, or a feeling of being unable to stay awake, do not wait. These seemingly innocent occurrences could be a direct indicator that something far more serious is on the horizon. Time is of the essence when it comes to the health of your brain, and delaying medical attention could make the difference between a temporary scare and a lifetime of consequences. Seeking immediate medical help is essential. It is important not to minimize or rationalize these symptoms as something trivial because the risks associated with ignoring them far outweigh any inconvenience or embarrassment that might come from seeking care. When it comes to your health, especially the health of your brain, there is no room for hesitation. A TIA is a cry for help from your body, a subtle but unmistakable message that your brain is struggling to get the blood supply it needs. By acting swiftly and seeking prompt medical attention, you could potentially prevent a major stroke and ensure that you live a healthier, longer life. Never underestimate the power of knowledge and awareness. The next time you experience fainting, dizziness, or extreme fatigue, remember that your brain is trying to tell you something. Don't ignore it. Reach out for help, and take the necessary steps to protect your health. You are the first line of defense when it comes to your well-being, and your actions now can help you avoid the devastating consequences that may await if these symptoms go unaddressed. Your life, your brain, is too precious to leave to chance. Act before it's too late. Number 8. Tingling sensations. Tingling sensations, often described as a subtle yet unmistakable feeling of pins and needles, can be much more than just a harmless nuisance. While it might seem like a fleeting, insignificant discomfort, it can also be a powerful warning sign of a mini-stroke, also known as a transient ischemic attack, TIA. These sensations, which often appear suddenly, can take over one side of the body, typically affecting an arm, leg, or even the face, causing confusion and worry. You may try to brush it off, thinking it's just from an awkward position, but deep down, this fleeting moment could be signaling something far more urgent. Unlike the mild discomfort from a pinched nerve or the temporary numbness you might experience from a night of restless sleep, the tingling from a TIA is far more alarming. It is caused by a temporary interruption in blood flow to the brain, particularly to the nerves that control sensation. This disruption is a cry from within your body, begging for attention. What makes TIA-related tingling particularly insidious is its deceptive nature. It can easily be confused with more benign issues like carpal tunnel syndrome or a simple muscle cramp, but don't let this familiarity lull you into complacency. When the cause is a TIA, it's not a matter of physical compression or irritation of nerves. It's a dangerous, temporary shutdown of the very blood vessels that nourish your brain, a sign of potential disaster waiting to happen. What truly sets the tingling from a TIA apart is its sudden, unexpected onset. It rarely arrives alone. It often arrives with a warning squad: dizziness, blurred vision, or slurred speech. This trio should not be ignored. If you experience tingling along with any of these symptoms, especially on just one side of your body, it's time to take action, right away. This is not something to dismiss as a trivial or temporary issue. It could very well be the precursor to a full-blown stroke. The difference between life and death, or between lasting health and debilitating consequences, lies in how swiftly you respond. Do not wait. Seek medical attention immediately, because early intervention can save your life, and it can prevent devastating long-term complications. Understanding the risk factors for strokes in the elderly. The silent threats. Strokes, and particularly TIAs, don't happen by chance. They are often the result of underlying health conditions and lifestyle choices that silently chip away at your health, building a dangerous foundation over time. Among the most significant culprits are high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart arrhythmias like atrial fibrillation, AFib. High blood pressure strains your blood vessels, making them more susceptible to blockages, narrowing, and eventual rupture. It's a silent killer, quietly working its destruction without you even knowing it. Diabetes, too, plays a pivotal role in stroke risk. It damages blood vessels over time, impeding the flow of blood to your brain, and making it harder for your brain to function optimally. Then there's AFib, an irregular heartbeat that can allow dangerous blood clots to form, which can travel to the brain, causing a stroke or TIA. These conditions put you in a constant battle, often unnoticed until it's too late. Lifestyle factors are just as powerful in raising the stakes. Smoking, for instance, is a clear enemy. It damages blood vessels, increases clotting, and lowers the body's ability to maintain proper circulation. Add to that obesity and a sedentary lifestyle, and you have a cocktail of cardiovascular threats just waiting to strike. These risk factors, combined with aging, create the perfect storm. But here's the thing, if you can catch the warning signs early, you can change the course of your health. Time is your most precious ally. Every minute you wait during a TIA could mean the difference between recovery and irreversible damage. That's why knowing the FAST method, face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulties, time to call emergency services, could save your life. The power of early intervention, treatment and prevention. If you've experienced a TIA or have been diagnosed with one, don't panic, but do act. Early treatment is key to preventing a major stroke and ensuring that your health doesn't take a sudden, tragic turn. The good news is that there are many effective treatments available. Medication is often the first line of defense. Doctors frequently prescribe antiplatelet drugs like aspirin, which work to keep blood from clotting and traveling to the brain. For those with atrial fibrillation, blood thinners can be a game changer, reducing the risk of dangerous clots forming in the heart and moving to the brain. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But medication is only part of the story. Lifestyle changes are just as critical, if not more so. A diet rich in fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats can lower cholesterol levels and nourish your body, supporting vascular health. Regular exercise, even something as simple as walking or doing yoga, can help reduce blood pressure, maintain a healthy weight, and improve circulation. Smoking cessation and limiting alcohol consumption can significantly lower stroke risk. Managing chronic conditions like hypertension, high cholesterol, and diabetes through medications and regular monitoring can keep your health under control, reducing your stroke risk. Prevention isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about building a long, healthy life that will allow you to thrive, not merely survive. How families can support elderly loved ones. The vital role of care. For families, the responsibility to protect their elderly loved ones from the threat of TIAs and strokes can be daunting, but it's a role that can make all the difference. If you have a loved one at risk, it's important to be their vigilant ally. Often, elderly individuals might not fully recognize the subtle signs of a TIA or stroke, or they may ignore them out of fear or uncertainty. As their family, you can step in to notice things they might not. Slurred speech, sudden confusion, or a seemingly unexplainable weakness on one side of the body are all red flags that demand immediate attention. Never dismiss these signs. Call for emergency help if anything seems out of the ordinary. Your quick thinking could prevent permanent damage. But don't stop there. Encourage your loved ones to keep up with their routine health checkups. Help them monitor their blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and glucose. Be their partner in embracing healthier habits. Cook nutritious meals together, join them for light walks, or even engage in gentle stretching exercises. Change doesn't have to feel overwhelming or isolating when you approach it as a shared experience. And as they recover or work to prevent future strokes, your support will be invaluable. Help with appointments, medication reminders, and offering emotional comfort during what can be a frightening time. Your love, patience, and understanding will not only help your loved one heal physically but will give them the strength to keep fighting and to hold on to hope. In the end, when it comes to stroke prevention and recovery, every action counts. Stay vigilant. Stay informed. And above all, stay compassionate, because your presence can be the lifeline your loved one needs. Thank you so much for joining us today as we explore the crucial signs and risks of TIAs, as well as the steps you can take to protect yourself and your loved ones. So, what have you learned so far? Have you gained new insight into the warning signs of a mini-stroke or discovered how small lifestyle changes can make a big difference in preventing a major stroke? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below with one thing you've learned today that you will start practicing in your own life. Whether it's recognizing the symptoms of a TIA or making a commitment to healthier habits, every step counts toward a longer, healthier life. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more valuable content. Your support means the world to us, and together, we can continue learning, growing, and living healthier lives. Thank you again for watching.